The complex I'm going to be talking about today is the behind the neck push press into an overhead squat. Now the entire time throughout this complex, what I want you to be thinking about is something called the frontal plane. Okay, it's an imaginary line between my overhead, my wrists, all the way through the center of my head, center of my body, and then balancing through the center of my foot. So if I were to draw this in an overhead squat position, this is what it would look like, okay? What I want is for this line, for the barbell to be exactly placed over the center of my foot, regardless of where my hips and arms end up, okay? That's gonna be the most stable and solid position. So, when initiating this movement, I'm gonna step up into the bar just like I would a back squat, okay? I'm gonna position my hands, since this is an overhead squat, into a wide grip, so about the same grip as you would see in my snatch. In order for the bar to move straight through the frontal plane, the first thing I have to do is bring my elbows into that frontal plane so that when I push the bar, it's gonna go up and not into my head, okay? So I'm gonna bring my elbows down. Now they're in the center of that frontal plane, that imaginary line through the center of my body. I'm gonna do the push press, dip, and drive overhead. As it's overhead, my bar, if it were to fall, which it's not going to, would fall through the center of my body, landing squarely in the center of my foot, still in this frontal plane. Now, as my head drives forward and my hips drive backward, my barbell is still going to remain in the center of my foot. Okay, so I'm very solid here. I have a lot of balance and a lot of stability in this position. And as I rise, I'm going to keep it in that same spot as everything else comes back to that frontal plane. Okay, there's a quick tip for you to make sure that that bar is super stable overhead. Good luck with this complex.